If you're eating at the deli, farting from your belly might be just a wee bit smelly. Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, boys and girls. It is yet another Glad You Made It episode, yet another So-So production. We're doing it on Monday, January the 2nd, 2000 and what is it? What year are we in? 2023. Happy New Year to everybody out there, wherever you are, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Toronto, out there in BC on the West Coast, anywhere in between, down south in the US, Mexico, South America, Asia, Europe, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, all the islands. What's going on, baby boys, baby girls? Let's have some fun today. It's just Monday. We're starting off fresh. It is a brand new year, brand new attitudes, same attitudes, more or less, with better attitudes, stronger attitudes, more or less right down the center, stable attitudes. Continue doing what you're doing out there is what I'm trying to say. If you're out there, going after the program, you're in a program, you're getting educated, you're out there hustling, grinding in a business, either your own or you work for a company, you're moving way up on the ladder there. Watch out not to step on anybody, but also it's what it is. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, I'm so happy to be alive and kicking amongst you guys. What an incredible year we've had in the past. Lots of exciting things have happened, and I'm sure we're going to have an even better, more exciting year in 2023. Holy smokes, it's January, baby. It's time to kick it into gear. It's time to shift over. New seasons I can almost already feel it. I know we're just in the beginning or middle of winter, but I already feel it, baby. I'm excited for this spring. I'm excited for this winter as well. We've had a little bit of snow here in the city. It all melted. It's all, it's actually nice outside. It's relatively nice outside for this time of year. Unexpected, but nonetheless, I'm happy to be here kicking it with you guys. And wherever you are, I hope the weather's treating you well. I hope you're having fun, whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you're starting a family. Maybe you're starting one right now. Maybe you're listening to me and starting a family at the same time, and for that I thank you, and I support you. Keep going. Do not use any contraceptive methods if you're trying to procreate out there. If you're trying to have a baby, take off your 2-3 condoms that you got on. You know what I mean? Where would you be most prone to getting pregnant? Well, let's knock out the places that you can't get pregnant. You can't get pregnant in the jacuzzi or a swimming pool. So don't be like, oh, I'm gonna go get pregnant in the pool or my jacuzzi, because you know what it is. You know what they say about sex and water. You can't get pregnant. So give that a try if you're trying to use natural contraceptive methods. That's what it is. I hear it's hard for the sperm to get to the egg when you're in water, even though that's really got nothing to do with, because the water's on the outside of your body. I bet there's some water that gets inside the vag. I'm not gonna, that's what, and maybe a little bit in your pee hole. Hopefully there's enough chlorine in the water. I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews. You can't get pregnant in the jacuzzi. I don't know. Or can you? Who knows? Try it out, see what it is. But also, again, if you want to play, where are you more prone to getting pregnant? I would say your home is probably the best bet to try to get pregnant at home. You don't want to, you know what I mean? But that's the good thing with pregnancies too. It's not like you get somebody pregnant, it's not like you got to deal with it right then. You can get literally anybody pregnant wherever, and then you'll have to deal with it like nine months, generally speaking. So you got time. So really, anywhere that suits you, essentially. But just don't be putting yourself in awkward circumstances. You don't want to be getting booked for indecent exposure. So maybe if you're like, man, but I gotta step up my game. I gotta procreate outside of the regular places, and you could do that. You could wear a big cloak. Wear if one of the popes just passed away, rip. Maybe use his cloak. He had a big one. Yeah, I think, because they got the good gear, dude. They get that you don't even know what's going on down there. Where's his arms? Where are his legs? Is there just one person under that outfit. The hat has got, it's a lot of space, and the hat has got a lot of space. That's a good hat. Those are good hats. You know, a lot of utility. Thirsty? Run out of bottles to carry with you? Oh, tip over the old big hat and fill it up with water. Look what you're doing, distributing water to the people. I think that's why there were the big hats originally. But like upside down, actually, so you could, like, when it rains, you collect the rainwater. You just tilt your head. Oh, there's some water for everybody, water for everyone. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today is something they'll say as a father, as a priest, you know. That's what, but Rip, dude, you know, and he was, I don't even remember his name, but Rip, it was one of the popes, which he was one of the ones that retired apparently from like working, because apparently once you're in that field, people don't retire. You go until you drop, but he was one of the first ones to retire, I think, in like 600 years. So he was working for like 600 years, and he's like, I'm gonna retire. I think that's the story, or somebody, or the last pope that did retire was dated back 600 years ago, and then this guy brought back retiring, which in that case, you know, like, man, people, you know, I'm not like, you know, you know, I'm not here defending anybody. I'm not here like, you know, putting anybody down or anything, especially after, you know, crossing over and what have you. But like, you know, it's a dicey game, that priesthood, that, you know, Catholic fatherhood gig. What, like, you know what, it's weird, because, you know, Catholic Church, like a lot of, you know, they come with baggage, like, you know, potentially hiding thousands of pedophiles, which is weird. But also they do also do good stuff too. It's not just hiding. If they're hiding thousands of pedophiles, I bet you they're like helping millions of people. And you're like, that doesn't justify it. I'm just saying. Regardless, the point was that you could borrow his outfit, so that's what it is. If you, I don't even know how we got there. Point is, if you want to have some fun, you're like, oh, I want a big outfit so me and my partner, me and my lover can get in one outfit, and as we're walking, we're just walking and mating, and nobody's the wiser. It's just everybody else is like, oh man, that fella's just jolly, that fella's just a little bit overweight, he had a little bit too much to eat over Christmas. You know what I'm talking about? Lose a couple of inches on the old belt. That's what they'll say looking at you, but nonetheless, you're procreating. Boinking under the cloak, oh man, that'd be nice. Could you do that? Could you do that? Potentially, it could work. If you're like really tough, like one of you's really tall and the other one's adequately smaller, so you could get away with wearing an extra large outfit, and like nobody would know, dude. If you're like, let's say dude that's like above 7 feet tall, and a lady who's like, you know, 5'1", you know what I'm talking about? A large overcoat, and you're out there just like, what is this? Oh, it's just a large fella. Not only is he tall, he's a little bit girthy as well. They'll say that, but who knows what you're doing underneath that garment. But that's what I'm just saying, man. Think outside the fun. Think outside the fun. Think outside the box is what I meant to say. Sometimes you got to think outside the fun too. Think outside the fun. You don't want to be having too much fun, son. Think outside the fun. No, you got to think outside the box is what I'm trying to tell you, man. Ladies and gents, a lot of exciting things are happening each and every day. I'm just little by little appreciating little things, because you got to appreciate the little things. Miracles happen on a daily, and we don't notice sometimes. We don't, because you're always looking out there for like big things that are like, oh, this big thing has to happen for me to be like, oh man, the universe is on my side. It's on our side, essentially. Little things, even the things that might not be seemingly going your way, are actually working in your favor. But man, sometimes you're just like, oh, but that's what it is. And until something major happens in your life and you're like, yes, that is a clear indicator. But everything else leading up to it was little teeny tiny miracles. I don't even know why we're talking about that, but I'm just saying I'm very grateful to be alive and kicking. And, you know, having a chance to go after my dreams, and whatever your dreams are out there, I'm rooting for you. Keep going, gal. Keep going, lady. Keep going, mister, sister. Ladies and gents, we're doing it together. A lot of exciting things are happening. We're definitely seeing a new transition in terms of, certain things are evolving. We're getting better at doing things. Even in times of celebration, you'll see that, like New Year's. Typically, up until very recently, 2-3 years ago, all you had to work with on New Year's was fireworks. Oh, it's the New Year's countdown, it's the final countdown. It's the final countdown. It's the final countdown. Everybody, it's the fireworks. Everywhere, in every which direction. Fireworks. Amazing way to celebrate the new year. A potential birthday. Somebody recovering from double cancer. Fireworks. Somebody got a promotion. Fireworks. A wanted baby, a planned baby. Fireworks. An unplanned baby followed by plan B. Husband and wife who were not financially ready for the situation, high-fiving and celebrating with what? Fireworks! That's right. But sometimes, again, accidents, little baby accidents turn into beautiful miracles down the line. So, but also it could be the spawn of Satan, man, if you're not ready for it. So be careful out there. it's a roll of the dice with the babies and the sperm and the egg. It's like, which sperm is it? Which egg is it? It's you got to make sure they're good batches cooking in the oven. How do you make sure that? I don't know. We'll figure it out down the line. The point is, fireworks are classic. Fireworks were originally a gift from the Eastern world to the rest of the world, because that's what it is, man. When something gets discovered or created in the world, it gets shared with the rest of the world, and that's what it is, man. I believe my beautiful Chinese peepsies were the inventors of firecrackers and fireworks, because you know the Chinese, man. There's two things that I can say for certain. I can look into a Chinese man or woman's eyes and I'd be like, I see two things resonating: fire, and works. And you put those two together, fireworks, ladies and gents. That's right. I've never actually, that's what every time I see a Chinese, I'm like, fireworks. Fire and work, the passion of the desire, the hardworking Eastern mindset. You gotta. That's why. And the fire. We need fire. And let's put it together. What do you get? Fireworks. So shout out to all the Chinese brothers and sisters. And that's what they did, man. They created it. They invented it. And initially, it had different purposes. Of course, it was used for times of celebration. It is a natural way of celebrating because it is essentially made up of natural elements that are found in our universe, in our world. So it's not anything. It's not like, oh, what are they doing? Is it voodoo? Is it black magic? No, it's just a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of the old powder mixing with the other powders and what have you, and then ignite it, and then what is it? Fucking fireworks, baby. Pew 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 pew. Patterns, colors. Oh, it's magical, delightful for the senses. The eyes are having a ball, is what you'll say to yourself. But that's what it is, man. Fireworks are, and the thing with fireworks is that they are both entertaining in terms of value for entertainment. They're entertaining and the good thing about them is that they're finite. They're finite, meaning they're limited time only. Oh, let's go down to the fireworks. We gotta be there, you'll say, by 10 p.m. It'll last till 11 o'clock, let's say, or starts at 11. It'll go till midnight. Right at midnight. Should start at midnight. Consider like it should start at midnight. If we're doing like right before midnight fireworks, during midnight fireworks, right after midnight, right into the new year, fireworks. Point is that they're finite, meaning you'll appreciate the moment. It's just one of those things that you have to be there. It's one of those things you'll look back and you'll be like, man, we had a ball. Fireworks going off. You had to be there. Why? Finite. That's why. Meaning it's a limited time offer. Enjoy it while it lasts. Try not to be distracted with your cameras, with your phones. Really use your eyeballs. Put your arm around another person, hopefully a loved one, not a stranger. That'd be awkward. If it's unwanted, of course. If it's a stranger you've just met and you're just kicking it off. You guys, eyes are locking. It's New Year's. New relations are forming. The point is, ladies and gents, that fireworks are one of those little beautiful moments that happen for a few minutes and then it's over. And then you're like, man, that was magical. That was humans coming together creating magic. That's what it is, man. Ladies, gents, and that's what I love about life. The little things that come and go that are like, oh, this moment is special. And there's nothing wrong with wanting things that last longer, if you know what I mean. Ladies, gents, what is he referring to? Fireworks, we're still on fireworks. Get your mind out of the gutter there, lady. Dude, point is that fireworks, before we move on, I gotta say a few other things about fireworks, if I may, if I could, if a man can have a second or two to spend time about a topic he's passionate about. Fireworks are actually not only used for entertainment, but they could also be pointed towards your enemy, let's say, in an unforeseen circumstance that you may not be so well prepared for. Oh, you're in a little bit of a scuffle, you're outnumbered. Fireworks! Right there. Everybody's like, wow, magical, but also took out a couple of eyes there. Multi-purpose fireworks. Point is, fireworks are fun for all sorts of ages, and anybody could use fire. That's the beauty. That's why I like fireworks. Anybody, even dumb little babies, little dumb retarded baby, just dumb babies. Just give them a firework, give them some lighters, maybe lighter fluid if need be, depending on the level of fireworks. Some are just, light it and forget it. And others need a little bit of dosing up, if you will. So provide them with the basics, but even a dumb baby can figure it out. Absolutely. And like, maybe they'll get hurt, maybe, or maybe they'll have a blast, or maybe they'll have some fun, maybe they'll make some friends. You're like, what if they lose an eye or a limb? Maybe, well, tough noogies, little baby. World out there is full of fireworks. And it's safe for everyone. That's the beauty of fireworks. No one's ever gone hurt with fireworks. Love fireworks. From nature, by the people, for the people, of all ages, shared all around the world. That's fireworks for you, man. But now we're moving forward. Now it is 2023. We've had an evolution. We're like, what do we do with this magical, finite little gift that we've created for one another? How do we make it last longer? How do we make sure that this gets what you call a little bit of a boost? A little bit of, what if I want my fireworks to be, let's say, like a little bit on the old Viagra? I want my fireworks on the old Blue Chew. I want it to last longer, for hours on end. I want it to be predictable. I want it to be like, I know when I'm setting it off and I know how long it's gonna last. I'll bring it down when I wanna bring it down. What am I talking about? I'm talking flying light shows conducted by flying drones. Drones, ladies and gents. That's the new fireworks, flying drones. Light shows via drones. And that's the new fireworks. And I like both of them. But if I had to say one's the work of the devil, where I stand, because fireworks are safe, like I mentioned previously, but light shows conducted by drones, man, that's something else, man. You're looking up in the sky and what is it? Patterns, figures, faces, floating in midair. Synchronized. It's a little bit scary. It's fascinating. It's beautiful to watch. Just got to be careful with that stuff, though. You never know what kind of sign you're putting out there. With fireworks, if anybody else is watching out there, let's say, i.e. aliens, they're like, these people are all right. They're just a bunch of silly old gooses and geeses gandering about, willy-nilly shooting off fireworks. No harm, no foul. It's all good. But once we put up synchronized drones, creating faces, creating images of the wabbits, the dragons, the flowers, and what have you, right? That's starting to look a little bit like, you know what I mean? We don't want to send out the wrong impression. You put a big face up in the sky, beautiful, yes. Is that an invitation to come on down? Because we got the juice down here, baby. We got the technological juice out here, son. We got flying drones putting out light shows. What you got, fam? Do we want that kind of message to be sent out? You're like, that's not the way they'll how do you know that's not the way they'll perceive it? How do you know that's not maybe maybe they too will fall in love with the, oh, it's so beautiful, it is beautiful, it is magical. But I'm just saying, we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. And that's the thing, man. That's the thing with drones, with those beautiful drones, a celebration. Because fireworks, it's on, and then nobody's controlling that shit. Once it's on, and then it'll end. You know what's gonna happen in a few minutes. Beautiful sparks are gonna fly. Eventually, it'll fade out. You know what is it? It's missing. It's gone. It's poof, gone. Drones are like, oh, 1 minute it could be like celebration time, but what happens if you get like too into the celebration? All of a sudden, these drones are also capable of, video recording all your movement. Oh, that fell down. There's way too much into like the celebrations. Note jotted down in the algorithm. Beep, bop, beep, boop. And at the end of the show, it's all going down. All the drones are going down. You're like, oh, what a fantastic show. Where the drones go? No big deal. We'll tuck them away with all the information that they've collected from far above. But I'm just saying, man, I like both of them. I'm not here like, I'm not biased or anything. I do enjoy it. It is a little bit, it's mystical, it's magical, Again, if like far removed from like the context of right now, if that was depicted for somebody, living probably 100,000 years ago, it would have been freaky. They would have thought, oh man, aliens. Which is like right now it's happening. So like we're basically, we're reaching good heights. I like where we're at in terms of, I'm comfortable with the level of technology that we're producing and putting out there. These are all wonderful things. I'm excited. Just want to put that out there a little bit. I don't know, I got a little bit into fireworks and the evolution of them. And yeah, man, that's the thing. But that's what it is with like drones. If you want to, that's not accessible to the average Joe, the average lady out there. You know what I mean? If you want to buy some firecrackers, no big deal. If you want to buy some fireworks, no big deal. But if you want to conduct a light show via them drones, you're like, oh man, I want to put on a show for my guests tonight. That's gonna cost a pretty penny. And who does the old, like, it takes too much effort. It's like somebody's got to program it, so you need programmers, you need somebody to deliver the drones, you need to set them up. Oh man, you can't even use any lighter fluid, and that's what it is, maybe. So that's, dumb babies can't operate them for sure, I'll tell you that much. Adults will be having difficulty operating these things, let alone dumb babies. So it's not all inclusive, I'll say that. And the beauty about fireworks is that, like, if you're visually impaired, at least you can hear the pop, so you know what's going on. Oh, what is that? Oh, I know what this is. This sounds familiar. Although I'm blind, I can still hear. I know we're at a fireworks festival enjoying the festivities. But that's with light shows by them drones. A blind person that is being completely discriminated against because it's all silent, unless people are like really loud about it and just talking really like obviously, oh, isn't it great that we're out here enjoying this beautiful light show via them drones? Hopefully somebody will say that, because otherwise this blind fellow will be just like standing there and it's just a beautiful light show but with no popping noise. Discriminatory, ableist, some might say. I don't know. People say wild things all the time, man. Point is that fireworks are, I like fireworks. I maybe we could combine them, dude. Drones with fireworks. Take the drones up there and you're like, oh man, this is just beautiful light shows. Why drones? And then have the fireworks pop off from the drones. Fire drones, dude. Ladies, thinking ahead. Merging the future. Or something. All of it is safe. All of it is safe and effective. They all work. A lot of exciting things are happening. I read somewhere on the internet, on the interwebs, you guys might have heard this. This is not a new thing. It is just happening in New York as well. I believe there are other states in the States and maybe some other countries in Europe have also started doing this. I have no opinion on it in terms of whether I'm for it or against it. I have no idea how I feel about it. Just something to talk about. Just something fun to talk about. Human composting. What you know about that, son? Lady? Human composting. I'm not talking about you just like, oh, I want to chew on this apple and just toss out the old core, the apple core. Let it just compost in nature. You're out in nature. You're chewing on them, sunflower seeds. Don't do that. But if you will, you're probably like, man, I'm composting. And you are. You kind of are. certain things, but if everybody did it, it'd be gross. So for that reason, let's not do that. But unless we're like, man, why not? Let's just be like knee deep in sunflower seed shells, dude. Let's do it. And if we're all doing it, well, let's all do it. If we're doing it, baby, let's do it. But the point is, I'm not talking about you, deep throating two large bananas, and you're like, man, I don't want to throw this peel out into the garbage can because I don't know where the garbage can goes, man. Probably to the dump site somewhere where you're like, I want to dump it in me garden, is what you'll say to yourself. In me old garden, I'll toss it out. It'll just decompost and compost and what have you, and it'll just turn into soil. Well, human composting is a new thing. I'm not talking about like you getting rid of your fish bones, burying it in a little compost box if you've got one at your home. I'm talking about human composting. I'm talking about when people are deceased, when people's expiration dates are reached and there's no more use after this, it's done. You got all the use out of your body, out of your mind, out of your soul. Soul dependable, it's very debatable. Up until this day and age, we still don't know. Is that a thing? Is that not a thing? Maybe is a thing. Point is, the physical aspects of the bod, I'm talking about your gut. I'm talking about the heart. I'm talking about the liver, the kidney. I'm talking about everything, all of it. You got to do something with that. You can't just be like, oh, I want to just like leave this thing be. So, traditionally people had buried their deceased loved ones, friends, even enemies. Doesn't matter. People, once you go past the expiry date, you gotta go somewhere, and you gotta go somewhere in either in a box, in a coffin, or you gotta be cremated, which means you're gonna be made into. I don't exactly know what cremation is, but I'm gonna go with the root word of cremation is cream, meaning you will be turned into cream or paste, which is nice because like you're liquid at that point, and you're like, oh, I miss me pop, you'll say, and then you got a little tube. They'll provide you with a tube, I'm assuming at the crematorium place where they turn people into cream, and you squeeze out a little bit of your dad, and you're like, oh, I'll just rub dad on me. Oh, dad's always with me. You'll say that. I think that's what they do at the crematorium. Cream. It's the root word is cream. What else would they do? You're like, no, they turn people into ashes. Then why won't you call it an ashatorium? False advertising. What if I wanted to get cream? What if I wanted to become a paste, the residue of a being? So that you're cooking a little bit of, what is that? A little bit of jambalaya, put a little bit of daddy-o in there. Yummy. People used to do that, eat parts of their loved ones as well in the past, not so much in cremation, although that you could sniff your dad, dude, if you or your mom or your aunt or your uncle, whoever. Dead relatives, you can sniff them. If they're in powder form, you can just like, oh, let me chop up a few lines of my uncle here, just, oh yeah, right there. I know he's with me. Numb in the face, I know he's with me now. Point is, different ways of getting rid of bodies. So you could dig a hole, put your loved one in a coffin, cover it up and stuff, and then put that box deep into the depths of the earth. Relatively speaking, I believe the standard is 6 feet under, hence the expression 6 feet under. Point is, there was ways that we did, there's new ways. I guess we might have at one point have done this, but I think for the sake of like hygiene and what have you, people are like, maybe we shouldn't just like bury our dead like nearby, or we should have a process about this. And again, I'm not sure if I don't know where I stand on this thing. I'm just looking for the funnies here, for the ha-has when people die, oh man, haha. Point is, you got to do something with the body. All right, human composting is essentially saying forget the old traditional methods of dealing with dead bodies, with dumb dead bodies. Forget putting him in a box, forget taking him into a crematorium in hopes of getting a loved one made into cream. Forget all that jazz. Let's compost humans, meaning bring your humans to us once they're deceased. And I don't know what the process is, but eventually, in a little while, they'll give you a bag of sorts, which will be the compost version of your loved one, or at least a mixed bag, because these facilities, I believe, I'm not too aware of them, but apparently like what would happen is you get a facility, you need a space, and then you would dump the bodies somewhere, and then you put in a few chemicals, I'm assuming, to help with the decomposting and what have you, and to avoid, I guess, the spread of bacteria. Again, I'm not an expert in any of these or anything else for that matter. Man, you would have thought I'd be an expert by now in something, right? But no, that is not how it works. Point is, it doesn't matter. I can definitely try. If I want to be, I'll get in there, dude. If we want to do a few episodes of me just like throwing up and just like giving you a hand with the dead bodies right there, dude, I'll do that. Dead bodies, probably not good with them, but that's because of a lack of experience. With enough time and practice in anything, you become numb to it, they say. No, you get good at it. You get good at it. You get good at it. Point is, we could definitely do the traditional way, or we could do this new thing, which means, yeah, you'll basically compost your, so that's the, there's facilities you could do it, but if we're like, if we're composting, I don't see why you can't just like, if I'm done at whatever, let's say at the ripe old age of 105, dude, and I like, all right, had my babies at 75, raised them for like 30 years, I'm about to just be like, oh, I'm near dead, I'm almost dead, and like, oh, expiry date's about to pop right there. Just, you could potentially just like leave a fella on the couch, just mouth open, drooling a little bit, and then what you will do, you could easily, hopefully they got wheels on the chair that they fall asleep on, you know what I mean? You could just roll them out somewhere and put a little bit, like a little teeny tiny avocado seed right there, and like you'll have to wait for the process of rotting to begin, but eventually, once the flies come, it's working. It's once the smell is there, you know it's working, and give it some time. If you could, I don't know how it works. I don't know how this, again, there's probably facilities. How do you guys feel about this? Essentially, that's what it is. You could leave it long enough, you'll turn into dirt and soil, is what we're like, that's the philosophy behind it. Now, some people want to be like, let's forget about traditional, because traditional ways of burying people may not be so environmentally friendly. I don't know. If I were to do it, I'm not doing it particularly for the environment. I'll do it just because I've talked about this, dude. At the ripe old age of 105, if anything, I would like to be like, put me in a nice little fucking like lava lamp situation with lights, and I'll have a few catchphrases and like people can press it or talk. I'm cool with. So I'm not like looking to do something and be like, oh, I gotta watch out for the environment. You know what I mean? Like, I love the environment as much as the next guy. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know the stats or like how it is that like, they say X amount of a number of woods needs to be, chopped, and trees need to be chopped, and squirrels need to be ran over, and chipmunks need to be disenfranchised, and we need to just, go in there and gentrify this little forest so that we can cut the wood so we can make caskets and what have you. And that is leaving a footprint, and also the land and what have you. You got, we got this old property, we need it for dead people. A lot of people and property. These are all things that to consider. I don't know what is, but again, I don't know like the process of like composting. I don't know how much quote unquote greener. I would do it if it was cool. I'd do it. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it for the sake of, you know what I mean? And if it's cool, if it catches on, it becomes a thing, I'll do it. In the sense of like, because yeah, it'd be nice to like hand over a dead body and then like in a month or two just get some dirt. But again, keep in mind, they do it's a mixed bag of dirt. You really don't know if that dirt is like daddy dirt or like, stranger dirt. But the concept, you're getting human dirt, getting a dirty human in return. And you could use that. You could use it. If I had a chunk of dirt, you could, apply some on the root of your plant that you just planted in your beautiful garden, and look at that tree's growing ever so tall year after year, and then if you look at it in the right light, that's like is that grandma? It's just a tree. You're hallucinating. You're tripping balls, man. That is way too much acid. It's not grandma, but it is grandma, isn't it? It's grandma. It's grandma. Very Pocahontas fucking situation. Remember, I haven't watched Pocahontas in a long time, but I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was a tree that was like, oh, I'm a tree and I'm a grandmother. That was the first ever human transition to fucking tree which we've ever seen, which oh man, that's trippy, dude. If you're walking in the middle of the forest and there's a fucking tree with like a human face. I'm remembering this correct, right? I don't remember, it's been a really long time, talking about like over 20 years since I watched the Pocahontas, but there was a grandmother tree, right? The mother tree, the tree mother, the mother representing Mother Earth and nature and birth and what have you. Point is that it'd be nice to be able to do that. You could just dump a little bit of dad's dirt and see this beautiful tree. Or you're escaping a situation, which again, you never know what kind of situations you might get yourself into, right? You're running away from a bunch of these rowdy bunch of motherfuckers down at the local pub are giving you a hard time, and they're chasing you down the street in the back alley after midnight. We're talking AM right now. They're chasing you. When you reach in your pocket full of dirt, toss it right there in their eye. Oh, my eye. Oh, my eye. Oh, I can't see anything. I'm melting. My eyes. Oh, my God. What is this? It's not regular dirt. It is not regular dirt. I feel a human element in my eye. And by then, oh, yeah. Melting. Gang, crew, help me. I've been downed by a mysterious substance. What is it? Dirt? It smells funky. It smells like human residue. Disgusting, but also it's like mud too. Is this good for my skin? Am I looking any younger now? But by then, you'll be long gone. You'll be long gone, man. You'll be safe. And that's again a little bit of dad, a little bit of what is that, grandpa looking out, because that's what it is. You had intentions of using that little bit of dirt to plant a seed of sorts, but nonetheless, you used it to get away to safety. Now you can go and fuck so you can have real babies. Forget about that plant, dude. Those aren't real seeds, have real babies. Some might be really into nature and they're like, my plants are my babies. And to that I say, okay, point is, fam, gang, that we're doing it, and it is a Monday, and through touching myself on the old eyes, I have definitely lodged an eyelash, and I keep pulling more out. My God, this is blinding. But we're good. We're good. I'm all good. You don't need to worry about me. I will not be fazed by an eyelash. You know, back in '97, I had a wild attack from a bunch of eyelashes. I did not shy away from confrontation. I did not buckle. I did not lose my cool. I maintained my calm, collected. Oh man, this is right in there, ladies and gents, right in there, somewhere. I'm hoping if I blink enough, it'll just get lodged back in behind the old eyeball, and I'll deal with it later. Not to worry. I love a little bit of Jesus Christ. You know what I'm talking about? A little bit of that. It's like nothing's better for the process than a lodged eyelash in the old eyeball, right? I mean, if I start shedding a tear, it's not because I have an eyelash in my eye, ladies and gentlemen. It is because I have tapped into the old emotions. I have opened the valves of the old tear ducts. I'm like, shed away a couple of tears. Let them see. But you're like, how is that even funny? It's not, but if I had it on command, that'd be pretty dope. Cry. You know, that could come in handy. Cry. Could come in handy. The way I just did it right now. Yeah. Good times. Baby boys, baby girls. What are you even talking about? Human composting. So what do you guys and gals feel like? Would you like to just toss out the old uncle into the old backyard and let him just compost? Should you do it that way? Should you take it to a facility? Are you the type that says, no, this is an abomination? This is a travesty. What happened to human dignity? What happened to religious processes, if you follow any? And what happened to stuff? But then again, if you go far back, and I think this is something we might have done way back. You know what I mean? I think more and more human progress, and like we got, that's what we like, little traditions, and we like little, people love, you know, and I'm just people, all of us, right? We like little rituals or routines. So once you've got something ingrained into your head, we've been doing this for thousands of years. You know, I'm not saying one's better over the other. It's just what it is. What would you guys, would you like to, I've also heard you could like, legit actually like get yourself infused into like the bottom of a tree, so you could like it's all composting and what have you. It is interesting. So New York apparently is doing it. I wonder if that, like, what do you guys think? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it neutral? Would you opt for it? I don't know. In terms of cost, I think from what I read very briefly, I think it's relatively, excuse me, the same. So if it's costing, I don't know, I think the figures that I read were roughly $7,000 or $8,000 for like a regular, this is USD by the way, for regular burials or whatever. And this works out to be the same. So it's not like, oh, I want to save a buck or two. It's cheaper to just like dump Jerry out and just let him rot right there. You know what I mean? You gotta, like, you still gotta pay. Somebody's gotta pay. Anywho, ladies and gents, I hope you guys are having fun. These are just some of the topics that were on my mind that got me excited. I'm like, man, that is something to think about. Because yes, definitely we did stop doing that because of like hygiene, you know what? Because I think that's what it was. Originally back in the day, you were just like, oh, if a family member or a loved one or even a local enemy were to like drop dead, you'd just be like, oh, let's just like, put them. And then I think that's how like infectious diseases, because you wouldn't bury them deep enough, and there's like, I don't know what the whole process is. I'm not an expert. There's things that need to be followed essentially, I think. But ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday. Whatever you're doing, whether you are out there on the fields, whether you are milking a cow or chasing butterflies, or perhaps discovering new methods of transportation. You're like, I'm gonna break the sound barrier, man. I'm gonna break the speed of light. They told me I can't go. Speed of light is the limit that I can't go any faster. You're like, I'm determined to break the speed of light barrier and travel faster than that. I commend you out there doing it. Whatever else you're doing out there, I love and appreciate you. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All we do is just have fun, baby. All we do is just have fun. We talk about this, that, and the other. Nothing of real, this is not about like anything else other than really having fun. That's basically essentially it, boys and girls. And I try to, have a good time for myself, so I make sure you guys have a good time out there as well. This has been a beautiful journey, and I feel very lucky. I feel very blessed. They say that, and I truly do mean that, but I think it's one of those like, oh, I do feel blessed. I do feel gratitude going into the new year. I hope you guys are all feeling much the same, give or take. I'm not saying, like, you got to feel this way to be like, you know what, I'm not in your mind, I'm not in your life. If you're going through any hard times, that'll, just keep on doing what you're doing, big boy or big lady, gal out there. I'm sure, that's what it is. You just, keep going is essentially what I'm just trying to say. I hope that you all achieve your dreams and goals. And, should you, pick up a little bit of whatever minor case of STDs along the way, or or you got fired, or you got, or you, I don't know, somebody painted a new paint at your local wall, and you walked by the local wall and you didn't know that there was new paint, and you're like, oh man, my whole brand new suede jacket, shirt, pants, outfit is ruined. Can I have anything working for me, Lord, is what you'll say. Or maybe you don't believe in a higher power or anything like that. You're just like angrily fisting the air. You're like, oh, nothing to say to anyone because I don't believe in anything, but fisting the air nonetheless. Fisting hard. Showing emotions. Right? And that could happen. But I assure you, a short trip to the old washer, dryer, local dry cleaning will get that taken care of. I'm sure it'll be fixed. Even if it's not fixed, it is just a suit, essentially. It was your only suit that you had a little bit of money left, and that's the only suit you had. You bought that suit so that you could go to an interview. You've been out of work for some time. This was the only suit that you could afford to have. You have no money to even get back home. You're not going to get that job because you're essentially covered in wet paint. You're not going to get that. You lost the job. Oh my God. This is spiraling down very quickly. You're starting to lose your family. Jesus Christ. Okay. But you still got to believe it, man. You got to just like continue moving forward. And depends, you know what it is? It depends what kind of paint it is. I'll tell you that much. If it's like oil-based, good luck. Water-based, no problem. Take a dip in water-based paint. Take a dip. I mean, if you're already like covered in, just take a dip. It's water-based. Oil-based. Then that is your life is now drastically changed for the worst. No one saw this coming. Can we get this guy a GoFundMe, please? Point is that regardless of whatever you're dealing with, we are all together doing this little song and dance called life. So won't you put your hands in my hands and dance with me? No? You already got a partner there, don't you? Well, I guess I'll just be in the corner, drinking the punch, until someone decides to take my hand. Gah! Point is that it's okay. Whatever you're doing in life, point is, there's no point. Like, there's definitely a point. There's definitely a point. But, like, there's no point to this podcast. I don't make points. I hate points. I like connecting points. I don't hate points. That's too strong of a feeling in regards to points. I feel like, I'm neutral about points. I'll see a point and I'll just be like, whatever. That's just a point. It's just what it is. I'll connect them sometimes and I'll form like, oh, what is that? It's a line. Connected 2 dots. 4 dots. What do we got here? It's a square. We're squaring the circle. And that's exactly what we're doing, or something. Boys and girls, the point is to have fun. The point is to, no matter what happens, you take it on the chin. You're like, man, I've taken way too many on the chin. This chin is no good. It's a loose chin. This chin is unreliable. Any second, this chin could drop. My chinny chin could drop at any second. That's okay, because body parts are being 3D printed right now. As we're speaking, do not fear. There's always a solution. That's what I'm talking about. Specifically talking about January, February. I know we are, again, off to a good start. We're going in with a positive energy, but for whatever reason, because I get it, holiday seasons can be stressful. You just came back. A little bit of it's all festive and what have you, but I don't want you to be like, oh man, I just saw family members. I got to start like comparing this and that. I got to achieve this and that by this. Keep doing whatever it is that you're doing at your own little pace. Keep improving yourselves. You're doing amazing. Each and every one of us, we're all, I believe, in this together, and we're all just trying our best. And I see big hearts, big giant hearts just like fucking pumping next to each other. Ginormous hearts. These hearts have some sort of a tumor sitch going on, because regular hearts should not be that size, but big nonetheless, at least in spirit and essence. We are all trying to help each other one way or another, and I hope that I could be of service little by little, doing my thing. Again, where can you find these videos, boys and girls? You're like, man, I love what I'm seeing here. Where can I find them? I'm glad you asked. It's called Gladyamadeit. With what? Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 times a week. Dropping where are you at? Matt, with the questions. I like you inquisitive sons and daughters of bitches out there. You're like, where can I find them? On Instagram, on YouTube, and on patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to fiscally give us a little bump here and there. If not, they're there for you to enjoy for free. Talk about it. Spread the word. Again, priorities. Remember, it's the new year priorities, which means forget about your family, forget about your work, forget about careers, just talk about the show. No. Put all those things, God, country, family, and then Gladyamadeit right there. It's top 5 priorities. Talk about it. And I will see you guys back here again on Wednesday. I love y'all. Right there. Peace out.